Sword of Glare and Shine.
I also, the deal. I want to pitch or not even deal, just mention, we're talking about cards for the store.
Okay.
Mention that we have simplified Chinese and Japanese packs now in. This is like a limited time thing. It's not gonna, we're not gonna be able to get any more of these.
Okay.
So if you're looking to get some cool foreign cards, now's your chance. They're 3 for $10. You can't buy them by the box.
Talk about consignment too, because I think a lot of people don't realize you guys do consignments maybe.
We're like 4 people's consignment deep. It takes forever. It takes like an hour to do someone's consignment. So we're still. I mean, I'd rather people trade them in. It makes my life easier. We make more profit.
Yeah, I think it's better for the store. I like how people undercut the consignment.
It's real tricky. Yeah.
So, okay. Whenever you're ready, we'll.
You go ahead and bring it in, and I'll just be.
I think you should bring it in because you're.
No. I think you bring it in, and the podcast is gonna be yours because then you can bring in. Like if I can't be here, you can bring in Tad or somebody else.
Okay.
So the Magic podcast would be you because you put more work into Magic stuff.
Okay, I can definitely do that then. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Hey guys, what's up? Dusty. This is Mr. Lumen, General Manager of Four Horsemen. Dane Lumen is his proper title. This is the Magic the Gathering podcast. So basically, once a week after the Four Horsemen podcast, I'll be doing this just to kind of elaborate on the Magic stuff. I mean, obviously we do a lot of Magic stuff here, so I kind of want to do this to kind of go over the events we do each weekend, what's hot, what's not hot, some cool cards you can trade in the store, what the store has here. We can bring in like special guests, like Dylan Wiley would be a good special guest
Dylan Wiley would be an insane special guest. He could probably tell us the things that we obviously are missing because he's apparently a 12-year-old pro Magic player now.
Professional, yeah. So yeah, start with Dylan Wiley. We'll go into F&M. This F&M, I won the 6 o'clock, which is the first one I won in a long time actually. I played 18 Land Delver, which is I just cut a land from with Hobby's list. Ran a Pikes, ran like a Spectral Flight because I thought like. It's kind of,
I thought that was super tech. Slap it down on a Geist. No one can Vapor Snag it, and you just fly right over Blade Splicers.
Well, that's my problem. Like, for all the green decks and Niopods, it's really hard to beat them on the ground. So if you just like throw Spectral Flight on the Geist, you just kind of like you're hitting for 8 every turn. And you just die really quick. And then with to make up for my mana base, I ran a bunch of Phyrexian mana spells, so I could still interact with the board but be tapped out.
Yeah, I was really surprised that wasn't a problem. You didn't lower yourself too much. But I know there were a lot of games where all your damage was self-inflicted because you weren't scared at all about them.
Yeah, I know, me and Cavis had a game online actually. We beat a zombie player and we had 8 life left and he didn't hit us once. So we actually did like
6 Phyrexian spells. Yeah, that's
12
insane.
damage to ourselves. So like I said, the deck worked awesome. I kind of didn't do very well with the PTQ.
Yeah, it had a few bad matchups. Tempered Steel obviously is a rough matchup.
Yeah, and I got angry too. I got kind of mad and put myself on tilt, which is never a good thing to do. So.
Tilt is something that everybody should try. If you're gonna get in those big tournaments, it's gonna happen every now and then.
Yeah, because I built the deck to do real well against like Niopod and zombies and other like Delver mirrors. So that's why I put like Mental Misstep's main board. And then I went there and played against Tempered Steel. It was just like really frustrating. And then after that, I had to play against somebody else who wasn't playing a meta deck. So I just kind of put myself on tilt. And it was very unfortunate that I did it to myself because I think that it's something you definitely shouldn't do. But Dylan though is like that's the guy I really want to talk about. Like I won FM with Delver. Like I'm real good. Like but this kid like went through the gauntlet. Like you tell everybody.
His Friday Night Magic was nuts. He played John Tata, Kazu Negri, and then me, and Caleb Davis. So he actually had some of the hardest matchups that I can think of. I don't know how you dodged him. You got real lucky.
I don't know how to do either.
He was on fire. He beat all 3 of them, and then I squeaked by because he had 4 straight lands in game 3. It just nuts. His deck is self-built. It's a real nice, weird build.
There's a couple things I don't like. Like, he runs like 4 Mortarpod mainboard, for example. I think you don't have to run that many. Like, that's a little vicious. Dismember at first I didn't like, but now the more I think about it, like, it kills Blade Spicy tokens, which gives zombies a hard time. It's pretty good in the mirror.
Yeah, it's really good in the mirror. It's really good in the red-black mirror. Hits the Falconwrath Aristocrat, which can be a problem for them because they obviously have nothing that flies, and wasting a Mortarpod or something on it is just not going to work.
Plus, blue-black, I think, his build in general does really well versus the burn version
it does.
of Delver.
It does. He also, I noticed he doesn't run any Dark Slips. I wanted to originally say that was because he didn't have any, but the more I think about it, he just doesn't want to hit a tap land. Turn 4, he doesn't want his land to come in tapped, which I completely understand because he would rather come down with 2 Phantasmal Images or whatever he needs. It's a very well put together deck. I think his Black Sun's over the Killing Wave is probably a good choice.
Yeah, with the captains and the blood artists, I mean, you're going to be able to get out of range of the red version.
Yeah,
of zombies
especially
pretty quick.
with Mortarpod, if he can slap down enough of those, pop away a Gravecrawler, and then just bring it right back and shoot it again. I mean, you're looking at 10 damage there possibly.
Yeah, definitely. I like the Death Mark. We talked about that in the last podcast, but I like the Death Mark sideboard. It was really cool. Human Frailties are kind of neat, even though I think that's might be a little too ambitious to run Human Frailties.
Yeah, he had. I don't know how the swords worked for him. I'd be curious to ask him. When he brought those in, I don't know if he was. I mean, I could see those in maybe a Wolf Run matchup, but even that seems a little slow to me.
I think
maybe we're missing some tech that he's maybe the Zombies Mirror he brings him in.
Yeah, because we play against Wolf Run. The main thing is like you want to be able to do a lot of damage to them at the beginning, of, the first 4 or 5 turns, and then kill them.
Try and outrace.
Yeah, after they get their Titan down.
Exactly.
I feel like Zombies just does that. They attack with all their stuff, and then once it gets near the end, they just stack their guys and do the last amount of damage. So
yeah, maybe he's working on. Yeah, the swords do seem ambitious, but maybe he's trying to figure out some way to get around the Thragtusk and Cloud Post matchup.
That's true.
The gain life and Huntmaster. That deck now can gain so much life. Game 3 of the top 8, I had a guy play 3 straight Cloud Posts on me and then a Huntmaster. It was insane that he just shot up 10 more life and almost put me out of range of him.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. There's a couple little nitpicks, and of course you can do that with any deck. But I'm curious, do you know what deck he lost to before the top 8, to win into the top 8?
Yeah, he was actually in position at the Pro Tour qualifier. He was 5-1, win and get into the top 8. I didn't get to see what deck he was playing, but I can tell you that after he lost, he was insanely sportsmanlike, and definitely encouraged all our players to really show that. I mean, it's great when we go to events and take 20 people, and people say, you know what, I don't mind playing these guys. They're all really nice. We want to make a good impression. So props to Dylan for being a great sport and having a good time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's really cool. But that's about it really for F&M. It was really cool F&M this week. We had a lot of people because they're practicing for the PTQ and stuff. It was really fun.
Yeah.
The Wasted Meter guys, we can talk about that too, covered all the matches, so they'll be up on their site, I'm sure, probably within the week. I mean,
Definitely. If you're looking to see what meta we had and what the cool decks were, if you want to check out Dusty's deck, you check out our the Wasted Meter channel. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we went to the PTQ. We went and did that Saturday, right?
Yep, Saturday at Legion's games. It was a blast. The store's really nice. Check them out.
Yeah, Legion's was awesome. It was actually a really cool store. I think we actually might have playing them in our store league too.
Yeah, they're hoping to jump into the store league. That'd be really neat.
Yeah, so really fun. But I guess the big story about that. So Dane Lumen over here at some lift.
Yeah.
Destroying it.
I played Mono Green. I actually picked it up Friday night because I wasn't sure what I wanted to play, and you built me a deck list, and I looked at it and I was like, I can play this. Went and played the Friday Night Magic. I was pretty happy with how it ran. Went home and you changed it a little bit based on feedback and stuff, and really tuned that thing almost to perfection. I don't think that I could have asked for a better deck list. Went in Saturday, and it just really ran perfect. I couldn't have. The meta was. It was very well matched up against the meta. Some people would say run swords. I think it was too slow.
I think swords.
With
Rancor, I think swords.
I think some situations maybe yes, but I think that meta it was perfect. I didn't need them. The spells guys in the sideboard were really neat. Game 1, I played another guy who had Rancors. There was nothing better than I playing that turn 2 and then him miracling a Revenge of the Hunted that he couldn't play. It was amazing. Revenge of the Hunted was also a great card. Single-handedly won me a bunch of games.
Yeah, that's the big thing at the sideboard. If you can ever sideboard in a card against a matchup and gives them dead cards in hand, it's really hard to lose. I think.
It was just a really great experience.
Hey, Mr. Davis, why don't you?
Oh yes, we have the list here.
Has a list of.
He's got a list of where everybody finished. Our final standings here. It was really cool because we had.
But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit more about what happened with your game, your deck. What happened?
So I got into top 8. It's actually one of the higher finishes I've ever had in competitive Magic. Played a guy in Wolf Run top 8, which
he almost chokeslammed me through the table after he won.
Yeah, this guy was actually huge and terrifying, but he made it very clear that he wasn't mad at me. He was mad at the land screw. So I mean. He handled it quite well. No one wants to win through land screw or anything like that.
I forget it. He was huge.
Yeah. But I have a great matchup against Wolf Run there. I don't think that they can beat me on the play. ever.
I agree.
And then I don't think they can beat me game 1.
Which is why
So-
I thought like Wolfram was such a poor choice in that tournament, because like literally a lot of the decks that were played there, you got like Nyapod, Aggro, like zombies, like
Well,
Delver.
his build definitely, it ran mainboard Cloud Posts, which I think was really cool.
Yeah.
Just because it put him out of range. I mean, if you can get all 4 Cloud Posts out, you're out of range of zombies. I mean, that's just it. And then he ran mainboard Thragtusk and Huntmasters.
Yeah. So that's true. I guess they
he had a lot of life
gain.
gain to kind of stabilize and then win with. I think his objective was to actually win with the Nexuses, because
Okay.
you don't see a lot of Ghost Rulers in the meta anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
So
if they do, they're probably in the sideboard. You know.
So I think that he was well positioned, but I looked at the top 8 was actually 2 zombies, 2 mono green, 2 Delver, and 2 Wolf Run.
Which is
So-
awesome.
So that's actually a perfect split.
That's awesome.
So it was a great representation of standard and how healthy the format is.
And you actually lost the mirror match too, right?
I did lose the mirror match. It was unfortunate that me and the other mono green player had to play because I'm pretty sure that we both could have crushed anyone else
But
there.
I will say, like, first of all, he had 2 like nut hands that both games.
Yeah, but both games he was very well positioned. I had a mulligan both games.
he had a mulligan.
That hurt. But you do what you have to do. Not to take anything away from him, I do believe he was more prepared for the sideboard. He showed me a sideboard tech.
I like the overrun. Overrun was
Yeah,
really
he
cool.
actually had overrun in his sideboard, which in the mirror I have no way to remove his creatures, so it was perfect.
Yeah, I like that. a lot.
He all he had to do was slap it down and win. He never actually got to play it on me. He showed it to me afterwards, and I was so happy he didn't see it. But
So what was your favorite card in the deck?
I think favorite card overall, I'm gonna go with Rancor because it just slapping it on any of my creatures normally wins.
It's really cool because it actually makes the deck playable. I know, like, I played mono green probably like before M11 or M13, sorry, came out. So I was like, I tried it and I played against Caleb one game, and literally I had like a 14-14 like Dungo Belter, and he'd just be like,
just chomp
lingering
block with
souls.
spirits.
Yeah,
Exactly.
block, and you're like, like it's so annoying. So that's like that card's insane.
Yeah, slapping. Actually, I had to play. It was unfortunate. I had to play Kazu in the win and get in match.
I mean, it's kind of like, it sucks you guys had to play, but it's kind of needed a guaranteed a full Horseman.
It was that was cool. What was bad was that game 3, I played a turn 1 bird on the play, to which he plays his land and says go because he was playing a version of Wolf Run, and then I slapped 2 Rancors on the bird, which you should have seen his face. It was pure oh my god terror. Make this go away.
Because like his deck too is like, what answer do you have to that? It's like Day of Judgment. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. He had to Miracle a Terminus turn 1, which put him on no ramp. He couldn't ramp turn 2. I was able to slap down a.
you get your Rancors back. Like,
Rancors came back. Able to slap down a Spirit and come through with another Rancor for another 4 damage. I mean it was a rough matchup for
No,
him.
I think like right now Green's very
very well positioned.
We'll talk about that a little more once we get into the meta thing. But like, I actually think Green's super well positioned. Like the mono green is super well positioned.
So yeah,
go
check
on.
it out if
So,
you haven't
like,
played it. So check it out.
Look at the standings here. Is this like the? Yeah.
This is the standings before cut to top 8.
all before top 8. Oh, okay. So we had like in top 16 we had Kazu at 14th, right? Which is awesome.
1.
Yeah, he was playing the wolf, like his white wolf run deck.
Yeah.
Then we had Ian McKay playing Tempered Sail. Then Mr. Wiley, like
Mr. Wiley, killing it.
With zombies, he actually got 10, so he even like with that loss almost made.
Yeah,
top 8.
he actually had insane tiebreakers. The people
Yeah,
he
he
beat
did.
went on to kill other people. So that was zombies actually probably was really well positioned there.
So we have one Ian McKay's 2.
It looks like we had 4 in the top 16.
Yeah, then I thought Lowe made it too, but I don't see him on here. No, Lowe got 18th.
18th.
Yeah.
So Brandon Lowe was actually 18th. We had a lot in the top 32. It was really
Top 32,
a
yeah.
great showing.
Yeah, top
just by
32 was
the
nuts.
whole score. We took what 18 people. So we actually had a 1 in 6 shot of playing each other. Any of
Which
us.
has happened a lot too.
But yeah, Caleb and Bilo had to play round 1. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, we had two people in top 10, and top 15 we had 3, 4, and then top 32 we had like 6. It's nuts. It's like awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So we had actually more people there in that store, like for that event, than what the store had. Players.
Yeah.
So
The
that's, like,
home
awesome.
store. We actually out-homed the home store, so that was kind of cool.
I think we were the home team.
So what would you say would be the deck to play with how the meta's going? Because the meta's
All right.
clearly shifting to almost an aggro format. I mean, you see a lot of zombies taking tops. And now
For
mono
sure, for
green's
sure.
got a little bit of a rising. Pods on the downswing.
So if it was me, if I had to if I was going, actually, if we go to that Star City Open, for example.
Yeah, so, yeah. If you were gonna go to Star City Open this Saturday, what would you be wanting to play?
Okay, so it's hard not to say play Dover, okay? But Dover does have kind of it's in a pretty bad spot right now. Like
Right.
not as bad as in it's going to lose, but the bad is in it's not as easy to win as it used to be. So I'd say probably blue-white mid-range would be
Blue-white
the
mid-range.
deck-
Do you think
the
it
deck-
has the matchup to beat some of the other aggros?
I think its hardest matchup's Delver, and that's actually why people stopped playing it, because it was like Delverless Delver, it's going to be so good, but then they realized, well, we just lose to Delver, so why are we not doing that? But I think with the results that we saw from the PTQ, people's going to start varying away from Delver and start going more to mono green, Naya, and zombies, and blue-white mid-range just has an awesome matchup.
So what do you think? What can that deck do? If you wanted to play this deck, is timely enough to get you to turn 5 or turn 4 against it?
You can put Batter Skulls in.
Yeah, it's still turn 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
So
is good.
what's going to get you to turn 5?
Well, you have Lingering Souls that you can play, which
Exactly.
is really good. If you want to play as the Esper version. If not, you just have Blade Splicers, which it works really well early game, but then they fall off late game. That's the reason why I don't like them in Delver. They don't have the reach into late game. If you drop a Geist, you're going to get 4 damage no matter what.
Yeah.
With Blade Splicer, it will hold off. It's a great defensive card.
Exactly,
It's gonna hold
because
off
it
zombies.
hits zombies before they hit you. It gets 5 rank orc. It kills it, shoots it back.
Exactly. It's going to get around Niapod until they start Gavening. But by then, by the time they start Gavening, when then you start dropping Sphinxes and Sun
Day
Titans
Judgments,
and
things like that. So,
exactly.
yeah.
So I feel like you just run some Blade Splicers, you run Sun Titans, you run Days, Terminuses, so you can actually get around Dungrove Elder, and then you just I feel like as long as it's not tons of Delver, which I don't think there will be, then that would be the deck I would play if I'm going to go to any.
So yeah, I would definitely look at your Esper mid range, your blue white mid range,
for sure.
and try and take a tie on that. Make sure your sideboard is well positioned for the mirror though.
Sideboard cards,
you will see a lot of Delver and mirror matchups.
Sideboard cards would be really good right now. As Timely's obviously is good, Celestial Purges is good.
Purges for zombies.
Batter Skull is pretty good. I feel like blue white especially right now has just a really good sideboard.
It does. There's a lot of tools in there that's good. So what
that would be the deck I would play.
Okay, so now that we're talking about what the best deck is, what would you say? What's a card if you were in a room full of people looking to trade? What card would you trade for? What's the card that you need to be getting right now while it's low?
Okay, so I think the card that you should be getting right now, going into the future matches, is Bonfire. Is a huge card right now. It's super expensive right now. It's really high, so you might want to wait a little bit for it to go down. But if you can get one cheap, if you can get one in a good trade, definitely get Bonfires because they're going to be around for 2 more years.
They're around for 2 more years. They're going to be an
awesome.
all-star. Any red, it's a must-have for anything that has a mountain in it.
I know for that really janky green-red haster deck I built, literally every game I played came down to if I top deck this Bonfire.
Well, it's an instant win. It's a lot like Revenge of the Hunted. All the miracles are in the fact that if you hit it, it changes the board state dramatically. Can pull you back from a game you shouldn't have won.
For sure.
So with that, what cards would you be looking to get rid of right now?
So if I had if I wasn't going to play mono green, if you don't have the cards, because it's a little bit of an expensive deck, some of the cards are kind of hard to get, I would probably suggest getting rid of Dungrove Elders. Because it's a staple card for mono green. I think especially after this week, tons of people will want to play it.
Definitely.
So I think that's
2 in the top 4 is really good.
Yeah. Oh, that's insane. Especially for where it was before M13.
Exactly.
It was no one
Rancor
saw
really
it.
is that good a card.
Yeah. Thragtusk is another good card to get rid of because they're in that pre-con deck that's coming up. So
yes,
their
that's
price
also another card you want to drop because it's going to drop. It's at $15 now, I think.
Yeah.
It'll probably drop to around 10. So if you want to get rid of yours now, make a $5 profit. It's a great way.
Any green cards are pretty good cards to drop. There's some zombies you can maybe get rid of too, but aristocrats seem to be pretty popular too. I noticed a lot of people looking for those for the PTQ. So there's, I'd say anything that's a main component of Delver, zombies or Pod.
Yeah, especially anything that would be rotating.
Exactly.
From Scars Blocker M12.
Perfect Pod might be a good. I saw this Battle Wits deck between Pod that people want to really play. So Pod might be a good.
Pod might be definitely drop your pods now if you can. If you're not playing the deck. Cards we're looking here for at the store, taking good trade-ins on Tameo, Resto Angels, all the staples from the Innistrad block. M13, we're looking for
Oh,
Thundermaw
yeah.
Hellkites, which is a
Thundermaw.
great card that you might want to pick up. It's gonna shoot through the roof after. I mean, it's already really high. It
For
might
sure,
go, it might
for
go
sure.
down a little bit, but I do think that it'll stabilize around 2025.
Oh, yeah, I can probably see that. Another thing too, like I hate going back, but like in blue white mid range we talked about earlier, like Gideon is a huge card in that.
Yeah, Gideon is a huge card. It's not looking like he's going to get the same reprint in Ravnica. It's looking like he's going to be.
No,
maybe,
the card's too good against aggro.
Yeah.
To be honest.
He might be a red white. He's aligned with Boros, so it'll be. I would probably drop my Gideons right now while they're still high. Definitely. Also, at the store, just to bring that back, we just got in new Japanese and simplified Chinese booster packs. So if you guys are looking for some staples out of M13, it's going to be good for a whole another year and a half.
What's the price on these?
They're 3 for $10. You get 3 packs for $10. It's a great way to
Which is like really good. Like I think most people sell the booster packs for $4 and like higher.
Yeah. Retail for a normal English pack is $3.99. Walmart or anything like that.
Yeah.
So we try and really help out our players, keeping the prices low,
That's awesome.
especially on hard to find items like this. There's definitely.
Is the box the same? Like you would buy a box?
We don't have enough to sell by a box. They're going to go so fast, so you definitely want to do come in and get them and try and maybe rip a Japanese Thundermaw Hellkite or Japanese Full Thragtusk or something like that, or
nuts.
a Johnny. Oh my goodness, a Japanese Full of Johnny must be worth $120 or something like that.
But it even looks like real anime too, so
yeah,
it's like it'd be
it's
cool.
perfect.
For sure. So the event's coming up. Like we got game day, right?
Game day's coming
weekend.
up.
Yeah, we post this. Yeah, it'll be this weekend.
Yeah,
Be 4th and 5th,
4th and 5th at 1 o'clock, $5 entry.
which is awesome. Play mat, like check that thing out.
Oh yeah, we have
It's
the new
awesome.
playmat. It looks amazing.
And then see next week is the Battle for the Swords, Battle for the Blades.
Battle
right?
for the Blades, August 11th. The
gonna be awesome.
signed Hunt Masters, signed Grizzlebrand and Elish.
I feel like you guys are crazy for making a second place prize because you could literally have like Battle for the Huntmaster and
Yeah.
it's so awesome that that's the second
But
place.
yeah, I think it'll be a blast. I hope to have a lot of people come out.
Yeah.
It'll be competitive. I think that we'll have to see a lot of good players come out and try and win some swords.
Definitely.
But-
So I guess to kind of finish this up, what's your favorite out of like the PTQ, FNM? What is your like all-star card for this week?
All-star card that got work done. I want to say Rancor because I mean obviously it's the cornerstone of the deck, but I ran 3 Revenge of the Hunted and I was never unhappy to see it. Even in my opening hands, I would keep it just because with birds and things like that, slapping that down on turn 4 will win you the game. Miracling it on turn, even with just a bird in play, miracling it turn 1 and smacking in for 6 damage. Or maybe smacking in for 6 damage and then equipping a Rancor is insane. That's a hard deck. I mean, it will out aggro Tempered Steel
I'd
if
say
you can rip one of those.
it's nuts because I remember watching your game and you had like a hand of like all forests or something. Like you drew like literally like 4 lands like
In a
you were
row.
getting
Yeah,
destroyed.
I was dead. Yeah.
And this guy's like throwing down like green sunning and like he has you completely destroyed.
Yeah.
You just like top decked like Revenge and like you almost beat him. You knocked down like 6 life or something.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
insane.
one of it along with any of the other miracles is a game changer. I think that what's great about it is the lure effect. I mean, it's not even it's not even the plus, it's not even the trample. It's the fact that with that type of deck where you're building an army, it's an army style deck aggro. I mean, you just slap it down on something else that you're not afraid that's gonna die, like a Strangler Gush, something to swing in, and that lets your Dungrove Elders and your Predator Oozes or whatever else big thing you have swing in unblocked, which is normally enough for you to win the game. Not to mention it's going to probably kill anything that blocks it.
I mean, even like turn 1, like if you go turn 1 like Forest Birds, and then like turn 2 you top deck, you're like I guess let's hit you for 6 in the air.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And
that
there's
sucks,
most
but-
decks can't keep up with that. I mean that's a 1-card Tempered Steel. That's what that is. I mean it's insane.
ridiculous. It's
It'll out aggro any other deck in the format right now.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, to wrap it up, like play blue white control, like mid
Play
range,
Blue White Control or
or mono green.
or mono green because it is the best.
It's awesome. If they Lumen top 8 with it, it has to be pretty good.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, we'll have this up this week, and then next week we'll have another one and do the
Yep.
other like
Yep,
Forest
so-
podcast. Check out Waste a Meter for sure to check out all the games for FNM. Also go to the Forest website. Check out like the podcast for the actual show
Podcasts,
podcast.
stuff like that. Yep.
The Twitter. You guys have a Twitter, right?
We have a
Sure?
Twitter. We tweet a lot. Try to be kind of nice in our tweets, but every now and then they just get out of control. Butts everywhere.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.
Alrighty, well I gotta go work. Come up whenever you're packed up. Come up and I'll give you the password to the YouTube.